Roll projector. Whenever you're ready, Dr. Mueller.
So, we have come to realize several implications of time from our discussion of past reactions to temporality throughout history. The bewilderment of ancient man to the passing of moons and the graying of hair is in many ways no more comic and rudimentary than the plight of the modern man. Harvest ceremonies and other such agrarian rites as detailed in the previous chapter have only been replaced by sleeker and smarter appliances. The chiming clock is the temple to the rotating stars, the wristwatch is only one of a myriad of time-bearing talismans. O great pride! To consider that the form of human existence is in a constant relation with what may be incautiously dubbed the true nature of time is laughable.
What can we consider as meant with philosophers, both the great and recreational, refer to the true nature of time, or a similar construction of words? Here admitting that the empirical evidence for linear time is not more than a fallacy.
One must certainly concede that the following experiences with time are far too subjective to merit the definitive terms of a true nature. There are, however, commonalities between experiences, and it is on this basis that one must judge the general concept of time. A certain amount of generalization and compromise is necessary to form a useful definition in order to maintain the cohesiveness of society.
These commonalities clearly point to a conclusion far more dynamic than the previous concept of linear time, as will be shown. And while linear time may still have a place among the formats to be mentioned, it cannot and must not be considered the only answer to one of man's undying questions. Let us now take a look at certain of these aforementioned commonalities. Great human intellects and capability to understand the concept of duration
of solid absolute time, as I have demonstrated previously, it is common to realize time as being made up of points or instants, one leading continuously to the next. This supposition can be visualized by imagining a motion picture film in which one stationary image or frame leads to the next at such a speed that the human eye will only be able to perceive continuous motion. However, having arrived at this level of complexity across the experiences of many observers, one reaches a paradox. The problem is thus: if time is a series of rapid instants,
what force then exists to connect these instants? Bergson skirts this issue by axiomatically stating that time is only and entirely composed of durée, or an absolute real non-dimensionality. This notion is the best explanation of reality drawn on so many different perspectives. A non-dimensional realization of time, and also the only possible object to exist in an unbreakable state,
that of the idealized atom, is the singularity. But this too breeds certain conflicts within the mind. How can singular time be plausible in a world in which every person has woken up earlier today and will go to bed later tonight? A more detailed explanation of the fourth dimension time and predictive causality is coming farther on, but the ultimate basis of the time benchmark lies in the ability of mankind,
and perhaps the ability of all sentient life, to parse singular information through a process of what I call time dilation, which is the stage between the inconceivable barrage of information is contained in the singularity and the perception of order as realized through linear time. Imagine, for example, that you're digging into a box full of jewelry. You want to try it on, see if it fits, what looks good, etc. But you cannot simply dump the box over your head and evaluate yourself in that manner. You're removing pieces individually and set each
one out on a table so that you might try to properly understand each before proceeding to the next. Accepting that this analogy relies too much on pieces as instants, it is sound. Time dilation works in a very similar manner. I therefore theorize that linear time is a fiction of the mind, despite its necessity.